Hi everyone, my name is Josh and I'm the founder and president of JCSURGE. And in this video, we're going to discuss the importance of authentic marketing for your business. And this is going to be a supplement to an article that we have on jcsurge.com, link always below in the description below. And one of the biggest problems that we're noticing is in the SEO industry, a lot of people are just copying and pasting things from one competitor to another, and this is a growing problem, and you'll see this mostly with lead generation sites. So I'm not going to try and name out a lot of people, although one that really does stand out is Web Design San Antonio. I believe there's one that comes out that's really this one, sanantoniowebdesign.com. This is one that really bothers me, and I'm going to explain it in just a second. I'm going to explain why I think this is something that Google's starting to crack down on, okay? And there's an article over here by Search Engine Land, and I'll leave the link to this article as well in the description below. And basically it talks about how Google's newest updates are really focusing on inauthentic content. So content that's just been copied and pasted and maybe only a few words are changed. Sometimes even as much as saying that if all you do is add an infographic on your website, that's still not authentic. So you need to really consider outside of the box thinking and creativity when it comes to hiring an SEO expert, an SEO team, a marketing company, etc. when you are thinking of expanding your business, especially its online visibility, because if you're going to hire someone that is cheap and if you're going to expect authentic marketing and authentic content and authentic articles, original stuff, that's not likely going to be the case anymore because it's just getting so much more competitive that you're going to have to pay a lot more to get this type of service. So just letting you guys, all you business owners out there, be aware of this trend that's coming in the next, in the coming months and in the coming years. And this is likely going to be a continuous trend just because Google wants to provide the most original, unique, and authoritative content for its search users. And that goes, again, this applies to you if you're a plumber or if you're an accountant or if you are a SaaS company. If you're trying to rank on Google for specific keywords, you need to be aware of the fact that Google doesn't like it when you just manipulate the search engines. So without further ado, what this article essentially talks about is basically Google's cracking down on websites like this, okay? I don't like to bash my competitors. I don't like to badmouth people. But there does come a point where some things are just blatantly like nonsensical. The biggest problem, like I said earlier, the biggest culprit of this is going to be lead generation sites. So if you're a car mechanic or if you are a plumber or if you're, any sort of local business and you're relying on these lead generations and these calls coming in, hopefully you have something where you're only paying for the call or paying for the lead or something along those lines, because if you're paying monthly for just the actual access to these leads and not paying per unit, per unit, your results can really tank because Google does not like these types of sites, lead generation sites. If you're a local business and you hired, your own small marketing expert, whether it was a W-2 employee or if you're hiring someone as a subcontractor, you'll likely be a little bit better off because you're trying to actually build your brand and it's going to have your brand name on it. It's going to have your phone number and stuff. So it's going to look a little bit more unique. But if you're relying, let's say you're a web designer and you're relying on a website like this, this is, I think this site is playing with fire, basically. So what do I mean by this? Okay, the first things first, this doesn't look bad off the top, okay? The design could be a little bit better, in my opinion. But for instance, about San Antonio Web Design, our goal is to help our clients generate targeted traffic to their website and enhance user experience every step of the way. We specialize in San Antonio SEO. We also offer video production services to our local clients in South Texas. Scroll down and it says things to do in downtown San Antonio with kids. 4 tips for marketing to millennials. 4 things to do in downtown San Antonio. Why are you talking about that if you're a web designer? Okay. The only reason why they're doing this and why they're putting all these keywords in here is to manipulate the search engines. Google doesn't like that anymore, okay? They're listing all their service areas, San Antonio, New Braunfels, Schertz, Seguin, all these other locations that are all within San Antonio's proximity. And again, advance your company with San Antonio digital marketing. You're spamming the keywords here. And I'm sure that whoever made this is smart enough to know that this is just, it might have been an experiment site. It might have just been a quick way to get some phone calls. There's nothing inherently wrong with this. It's just very, very unstable. And actually, no, there is something wrong with it because it's inauthentic, I think. It's blatantly inauthentic. San Antonio Web Design, I mean, if that's the name of the business, that's perfectly fine. But you see them trying to stuff all these different keywords. Like, for instance, this things to do in downtown San Antonio with kids. This has nothing to do with website design. You know what I mean? And again, this article, read it. It's pretty helpful. It's just talking about the core updates. Google doesn't like this anymore. Google doesn't want to see this anymore. So we've just discussed the problem. We haven't discussed the problem yet. Sorry, we just discussed the overall. I guess we have discussed the problem, but to dive further, the biggest reason why this is the case, why a lot of websites look the same and stuff, is just obviously because there's a lack of originality. A lot of times, small businesses don't have the know-how and they don't have the capital to invest in building an authentic brand and designing a unique brand that will stand out from their competitors. Because, okay, this website, San Antonio Web Design, I guarantee you looks the same as many other website design companies in San Antonio. You want to really focus your attention on avoiding cookie cutter solutions because, okay, it loses trust with your audience. It screams desperation. It doesn't really show any effort, and it ruins your conversion rates. So just to quickly highlight these points, if your competitors are writing the same about us, pages using the same templated Squarespace, Wix site, etc., people are going to pick up on this, and they're not going to want to do business with you. They're going to see the desperation on your website, and this can really damage your rankings for two reasons. One, people aren't going to want to stay on your site longer, and that's going to increase your bounce rate. And two, they're never going to refer you to anyone else, if they just need to see that your site is very copied and pasted. Now, this is a very extreme example. Again, if you're a plumber and HVAC and you have some pretty templated stuff, your chances of not getting business it's not that high. But where it becomes a lot more important is very competitive industries such as personal injury, because personal injury, there's a lot of lawyers and they spend a lot of money on their marketing. So you're going to need to really stand out when it comes to this type of stuff. Personal injury, accounting, which is more for professional services. When it comes to home renovation and home service contracting, if it looks kind of templated, in my honest opinion, after doing this for about over 4 years, you're going to be fine. So don't worry about that. The ways that you can actually go about being more authentic and actually developing a more genuine connection with your audience is start using more research in your articles, listing your sources. So what I mean by this is if you are, let's just say, a dog grooming business, okay, you own like a dog grooming business and maybe a dog daycare center, and you're writing an article about top ways for working moms or working dog parents to take care of their dog on a budget. Reference some other studies on this, reference some other articles, even if they're just magazines and stuff. Just list your sources for two reasons. One, you look like you're not hiding anything, okay? People, I think, are becoming more aware of the information that they're consuming and looking at their sources. So just make sure that you're not hiding anything. Number two, Google really likes it when you link to another service or another website. So that's really important, and that's a great way to start just getting some more SEO points. The next thing is create videos or summaries, video or audio summaries on your articles that you already write. Kind of a little bit of irony because that's exactly what I'm doing. Then have some downloadable content, any sort of PDFs, ebooks, infographics, any sort of demo software if you're in the software development field. Just have something that people can interact with that's more than just text in a video. And again, you're going to stand out a lot more. Lastly, display your prices. Okay, if you're providing a service, you want to display and put your prices as much as possible. It doesn't have to be on the dot. This is what your service or product is going to cost, but even a price range or even as much as a starting fee, stuff like this is really going to help you stand out against your competitors, because this is something I see a lot of pushback from. A lot of companies tell me we would never want to put our prices or our rates out there because we don't want our competitors to steal our rates. It's 2022. If anyone wants to learn how to calculate the hourly wage, for contracting work or a law firm, they're going to be able to do it pretty quickly. Okay, you're not going to be the one who's gatekeeping that information, so just put it out there anyway. And consumers are going to still purchase from you. And we've found from the years that we've worked with other local businesses is that the customers who nitpick price from them, as well as in our experience too, don't really make the best customers anyway. So you're doing yourself a favor when it comes to just overall business strategy. You're just weeding out the weaker customers. So with all that being said, I hope that this video sort of touches on the issue of inauthentic content marketing and how you can make it more authentic, how you can make it stand out. And if you guys have any other questions, please feel more than free to reach out to me at joshct@jcsurge.com and or calling 917-747-4234, and I'll be more than happy to speak with you. And with all that being said, I wish you guys a great rest of the day.